Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Michelle. So I'm trying this webcam video and I'm not sure how it works. I can shift my eyes and see myself, but then my eyes aren't looking at me. I am so technologically challenged. I'm really going to need some of you guys' help to figure out how to do this the right way so I don't look like such a dork. But anyway, today's video is I just want to give an update on how things are going, and we have had a little bit of a setback, but it's okay because we can overcome every setback. Today you're getting natural me. I don't have to leave the house, so yes, I bathed and washed my hair, but it's still wet. This is me, all natural. I have naturally curly hair, just drying on its own, no hair dryer, no product, no nothing. All I did was curl the bangs so they weren't looking like a cockatoo. So all natural me, no makeup, nothing on my hair. I'm just home packing today and just doing some research on some things. The setback that we are working through has to do with me medically. Just a little bit of a medical background on me. I'm pretty much a healthy person. I don't get colds. I don't get normal things. Had a couple broken bones over the year because I'm doppy. Over the years because I'm doppy, and had some stitches in some various places, but I don't get normal things that normal people get. Like I said, I don't even get head colds and bronchitis and sore throats and all that kind of stuff. My immune system is fabulous. My body instead gets this weird crap, just weird crap. And I'm not going to go into a bunch of detail because you don't care. I don't care. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's negativity. I don't even want to talk about it. However, what I'm dealing with now is I had a hysterectomy in 2005. I was 35 years old at the time. They took all my parts with the exception of my ovaries. Just because I was 35, and to take ovaries at that age, it forces you into early menopause. You're put on estrogen replacement therapy. The doctor just did not want to deal with that, with me being so young at the time. Now, I do have a family history of ovarian cancer. My great-grandmother died from ovarian cancer. My grandmother is still living. However, she had a hysterectomy at like 19, so no chance. She had a full hysterectomy, ovaries gone. So we won't know had she gotten ovarian cancer with the ovaries were left. We don't know. And my mom, knock on wood, still has all her parts and is cancer-free. So when they did my hysterectomy in 2005, the doctor, I had a full incision so that he could visually look at the ovaries. It wasn't done laparoscopically or vaginally, so he physically looked at my ovaries. He did washings of them, looking for cancerous or precancerous cells. Had he found any of that, he would have removed the ovaries. He did not find any. However, what he did find was polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS. It's also known as PCOS. So I've known since 2005 that I have ovaries that are covered in cysts. No big deal. The cysts come and go. They appear, they burst, or they shrink, and they go away. Every once in a while, I'll get, and it's not often, maybe once every 6 months, I'll get a severe pain in one or the other side of my abdomen near my ovaries, which is a cyst like bursting, and it'll double me over. It's severe pain, lasts 15, 20 minutes, subsides, goes away. So again, it's nothing that I haven't been able to deal with over the years. Now I also, so just keep that in mind, polycystic ovaries. In 2010, I had what we thought was a kidney stone attack. Severe cramping, I shouldn't say cramping. This was just downright nasty old pain on the left side of my body in my upper abdomen, and wrapping around toward my back. I ended up in the emergency room. The doctor in the ER said, oh, it's probably just a kidney stone, but we're going to get a CT scan just to confirm. Well, it was not. It was actually diverticulitis. Now, this is not a diverticulitis that is caused by food. The doctor tried to explain the difference to me in that people that have issues eating corn, nuts, seeds, things like that, That's actually diverticulosis when they eat those things and it flares up and it causes issues in your digestive tract. Mine isn't like that. TMI, but I'm regular as clockwork. I can eat whatever I want. My bowels don't act up. I'm very healthy when it comes to that. The diverticulitis that I get is a severe infection, and it's always in the same spot in my left upper quadrant of my intestines. So I was hospitalized for 4 days in September, something like that, October of 2010. Was on IV antibiotics and pain medicine. Once my white blood cell came down enough to go home, they released me. I continued my antibiotics at home, cleared up. Another attack in November of that same year, 2010. Same thing, only I was in hospital a little longer this time. But again, same regimen of IV antibiotics. Once the white cell count came down enough, I was released. I went home, continued my antibiotics at home and pain meds, and then I was fine. And that has been quiet for 5 years. No other attacks after that. I had seen a surgeon. The only way to fix this is to cut that area of my colon out. To do that, it's a procedure that's done all the time. However, what was I in 2010? I'm 40 at that point, 41. So they would cut that area of my intestine out, and then I would have to wear a colostomy bag for 6 months while the intestines healed. Then they would go back in, take the colostomy bag off, and then reattach my intestines. I just wasn't ready to do that. And the doctor said he didn't feel like it was necessary at that point either. If I had had more regular attacks, it would be. So we left it go. Had a colonoscopy to look for any other issues. Nothing. I was perfectly fine. So again, 5 years have gone by. Nothing. Perfectly quiet. Christmas Eve, I ended up back in the hospital in the emergency room with another diverticulitis attack. Now, at this point, I'm starting to know when I get the pain there, I know what it is. So when I went into the emergency room, I'm like, look, I can tell you what this is. I know you need to confirm what this is, but I know what this is. And sure enough, they did a CT scan with the dye, and it did a full abdominal, and that's exactly what it was. So my diverticulitis, I had another attack, and mine can be caused by stress. I don't want to go into what I was going through in 2010, but it was some very significant life changes. Now this year, we're doing these major life changes again with me quitting work and moving. My kids are no longer home. So more than likely, the stress of all that has triggered another attack. I know it sounds weird, but it's strange how your body can just kind of attack itself because it doesn't know how to deal with the stress. So anyway, I'm in the ER Christmas Eve. They do the abdominal scan, confirm the diverticulitis, and put me on antibiotics. Fortunately, I didn't have to stay. My white cell count was in a normal enough range. It was elevated, but it was in a range that I was safe to come home. I didn't have to be on IV antibiotics. So they took out my IV and left me come home on a 10-day regimen of regular antibiotics and pain meds, and I was good. And then I got a call Christmas Day in the afternoon, a couple hours after I got home, and it was one of the doctors from the emergency room. Now, I went in at like 11 o'clock at night, Christmas Eve, and I wasn't aware of the fact that the doctors that read my CT scan overnight were residents. The hospital that I was at was Penn State Hershey Medical Center, which is a teaching hospital affiliated with Penn State University, and the doctors are residents. So the next morning, when the doctors came in, they have to reread anything that went on the night before just to confirm that the residents have everything correct. So when he called me back Christmas Day, he says, yes, the residents did have that right. You did have a diverticulitis attack. He said, but we found 2 other problems, and these problems are symptomless. So this diverticulitis attack, I'm saying, was a blessing in disguise, because now the problems that I have to deal with are more significant. So the one that I have to deal with first is, now this is going back to those polycystic ovaries. They found what he said at the time was a very large cyst on one of my ovaries. So he gave me a phone number of the Women's Health Center at Penn State Hershey Medical Center and said, you need to follow up And what they'll probably do is a vaginal ultrasound, just to look at it again, decide, do they want to take the ovaries out at this point? Do we just want to keep an eye on it? I said, fine. So I just had my appointment 2 days ago. I met with the doctor, and to give you an idea what we're looking at here, he hadn't looked at my records before I got there. So I'm in there as a new patient, and he's just reading the report from the emergency room while I'm sitting there. A normal ovary is 3 centimeters. Now, I don't know centimeters to inches. I think my husband told me centimeter is like a little over 3/8 of an inch or something. But anyway, a normal ovary for my age. A normal ovary is 3 to 5 centimeters. But as you get older, your ovaries will start to shrink. For somebody that's middle-aged like me, the doctor said an ovary should be about 3 centimeters. He is not classifying this as a cyst. He used the word mass, and right now this mass is measuring 9 by 11 centimeters on this ovary. So he didn't even want to do an ultrasound or anything in his office. He said it's not going to show him much more than what the abdominal CT scan showed in the emergency room. So now I'm being referred back to the hospital for an REI ultrasound, which is much more in-depth. REI stands for Reproductive Endocrinology Infertility. So the equipment that's at the hospital that these specialists use, much more advanced than anything at the doctor's office regarding ultrasounds. They're going to be able to see exactly what this mass is made of. They'll be able to determine, is this just a insanely large cyst, or is this an actual mass? Is it a tumor? Does it look like it could be cancerous? So we are on a whole new adventure dealing with this. So I'm actually in a waiting game now because I don't go back until February 9th for this appointment, which is kind of really bad timing because we get the keys to the new apartment February 8th down in York, and then I'm back up here February 9th to start this procedure. So I will report to the hospital at 9 o'clock on February 9th, have this ultrasound done. The report will immediately be sent to the doctor, and then I will go to his office at 11:20 the same day. If it appears to be a possibility of cancer, then they will do a CA-125, I think he called it, which is another test to determine the likelihood, or it'll determine if it is cancerous or not. Basically, he doesn't want to go in there and just open me up until he knows exactly what he's looking at. So that's what we're looking at right now. The other problem that was found during my emergency room visit, again, really random, is I have a pulmonary nodule in one of my lungs. So because we didn't know this before, we kind of have to wait and do another CT scan in about 3 months. So they referred me to the Department of Internal Medicine at the hospital. And what they will do is do another CT scan in 3 months. Pulmonary nodules apparently are not out of the ordinary. A lot of people get them. If it doesn't grow, you just let it alone. If it doesn't grow, it's a sign that it's 99.9% of the time, it's just a benign, solid growth in there. If it starts to grow, then that is a sign that it could be something very bad. So because we didn't have any initial reading, the CT scan that I had in the emergency room on Christmas Eve, that's going to be the initial reading. I don't even know how big that is. That report was just sent to internal medicine, and I haven't even talked to anybody about it yet because this ovary has to be dealt with first. So then they'll do another scan in 3 months to remeasure. So that'll give me a starting point for that. And honestly, I'm not even concerned with that right now. My lung cancer risk is probably at 0 just because I've never smoked a cigarette my entire life. I've never smoked anything. I wouldn't even know how to light something if you handed it to me. I didn't grow up in a smoking household. I did work in a bar for about 1.5 years back when I was in my late 30s. So that's the extent of my smoke exposure. I didn't work hazardous jobs where I was breathing in anything. So I don't feel like I have an elevated risk for lung cancer whatsoever, because these nodules, if they start growing, yeah, that could be a sign of cancer. But again, I know you can get lung cancer not even being a smoker. I am aware of that. It's just that I don't increase that risk by choosing to smoke. So in the course of all this medical stuff, it gets you thinking, okay, I'm not 20 anymore. I'm not 30 anymore. I'm not 35 anymore dealing with this stuff. I'm 46. Hey, my screen went blank. There it goes. I'm 46. I'm on my way to 50. So I know you hear enough in the news. You read a lot. You watch enough YouTubers that tell you what you eat is extremely important for your health. I don't eat healthy. I don't eat super, super bad. You've seen some of my grocery hauls. I can show you my pantry. We don't eat a lot of processed foods. I don't buy box stuff. The canned stuff I buy is very, very, very minimal, like beans, things like that. So when I cook, I'm cooking with my food that I eat and feed my husband, and I've always fed my family. I know what it's made of because I'm the one preparing it. However, I've also cooked for flavor, and I like to experiment. I like to try new things. So the ingredients I'm using, even though I know what they are and I know where they've came from, they're still not the best for you. Like, for example, tonight for dinner, my meal plan is roasted sausage and potatoes. Pork sausage, probably not the best choice out there. However, I'm buying it raw from a local supplier. I didn't even get that at a regular grocery store. So I know where it came from. However, it is high in fat. So I can't say that I eat really, really bad. We don't eat fast food. We did go out to a lot of restaurants before we decided to do this living on one income and no more restaurant thing. So I know that will help us with not eating in restaurants. But even when we did eat in restaurants, they were always nice sit-down places, no fast food, and we hardly ever even ate at chain restaurants. Like, I'm not a Ruby Tuesday, TGI Friday type person. I'd rather go to somewhere that's run by a local family to support them as opposed to supporting the large chains. That's just me. Not saying anything bad about people who do. It's just me. But again, I wouldn't say that my eating is super, super bad, but I know it could be better. So my husband and I just told him this morning, and he didn't give me any flack. My husband grew up on a farm, so he raised hogs, chickens. They ate what they butchered. So he's grown up eating the natural foods. But again, it's okay. They butchered hogs, ate the bacon, ate the sausage, cooked with lard. It's kind of a fine line there. So I told him this morning, I said, we are going to slowly use up the food in the house because I'm also not going to waste it, again, because of money reasons. So we're going to slowly purge the pantry and the freezer and the fridge of the foods that are very bad for us and slowly start introducing the healthier foods. And I've been watching enough YouTubers to get an idea of how to better eat but still not sacrifice the taste. So that's going to be another of our adventures that we're going through right now. So my life is a whirlwind. We're moving. We're downsizing financially. We're downsizing our possessions. I have a medical issue that I now have to deal with that may or may not be huge. And now I'm going to change our diet. If my husband stays with me through all this, oh my God, he loves me to death. No, kidding. He's cool with all of this, and a lot of this is his idea. So I'm excited, nervous at the same time. So I'll put a little clip in of what I've already eaten for breakfast today. Again, I'm not expecting to go from here to here with my diet. It has to slowly come over. Because I know I'm just setting myself up for failure if I all of a sudden run out here to the refrigerator and freezer and dump everything that's bad for me. My body and my palate and his as well are going to have to get used to eating a different way. So that's another one of our adventures, because I know changing my diet can definitely help me physically. I know if this does happen to be cancer, I'm fine with dealing with it. I will fight it. But I know a doctor is going to look at me and say, okay, your body's going to be fighting the cancer. You're going to have to feed it properly to fight it. And I'm good with that. I need to give my body what it needs to function properly, not what my tongue needs to taste good. And I could definitely stand to lose a little weight. We're not going to talk numbers here, but if I had enough guts, I would tell you, because I know if I put myself out there and just told you how much I weigh, it would make me more accountable, but I'm not ready to do that yet. I'm coming out enough to the world now that I can't give you everything. I'll give you 90%. We're going to keep the 10% for me. But I know I could easily lose 75 pounds with my 5'2" frame. So who knows what's going to happen. I weighed myself this morning. I know what that scary number on the scale says. And I like this morning's number better than I like the doctor's number on Monday with the winter clothes and the boots and everything else. Holy cow, it's amazing what those clothes weigh. And I even told the nurse who weighed me, I'm like, she says, do you want to, because when they weigh you there, it came out in kilograms. She said, do you want to see that converted to pounds? I'm like, no, we're good. We're good. You just keep that number to yourself. So anyway, that's where I'm at. So I will follow up at the end of this video with what I ate for breakfast. And yeah, I think that's it for right now. So hopefully maybe I will start doing videos of what I'm eating in the course of a day so that you can slowly see, and maybe I'll just do that today. Maybe I won't post this till tomorrow, and I'll just add on what I'm eating the rest of the day just to give you an idea. So following is my clips of what I'm eating and drinking the rest of the day. And I'll catch up with you soon. Bye.
So here is what I'm having for breakfast. It is Chobani coconut yogurt with what was left in my bag of barely naked, barely processed vanilla almond granola. However, all of the almonds were already eaten out of it, thanks to me. So it was just the granola left in the bag, so I finished that off. And then I added a little handful of walnuts to replace the almonds that I ate. And then a small handful of some raspberries. I am going to try to drink more water because I'm not a huge water drinker. So I made this pitcher of filtered water with lemon slices. It's 2 lemons and 10 fresh mint leaves. And I think I've got a mint leaf in my cup. I sure did. So again, this is what I'm going to try to start drinking along with my iced tea that I can't give up. But yesterday I drank my last vanilla Coke that I had in the house, and I'm going to attempt to say no to soda. So now I'm having a snack. It's about 11:20. I'm having a handful of pretzels and 2 thin slices of Irish cheese. And here is lunch. I'm having a small salad of grape tomatoes and cucumbers with a little bit of feta cheese and a sprinkling of Greek salad dressing on it. And then I am having some beef ramen. I know, not the healthiest thing. However, it's the only packet of ramen I have in the fridge. I can't find a good beef noodle soup at the store. So whenever I'm craving beef noodle, I will pick up a pack of beef ramen. I am going to eat this up, and then no more ramen. I will learn how to make my own beef noodle soup after this. So it's finally lunchtime, and I'm starving. And now for my afternoon snack, I'm having an orange. Dinner is going to be in about an hour and a half, so I think while I'm getting ready to prepare dinner, I'm going to have a cup of this Echinacea Plus organic tea. It supports the immune system. I'm going to add a little bit of honey to that. And here is the start of dinner. I'm just cooking up some pork sausage with some sage on it, some potatoes, and half of a green pepper. And I will season that with some onion and some salt and pepper as well. And it's just about done. Just need to brown it a little bit more, and then that will be dinner. And I almost forgot, broccoli too. And for a snack, some cookies and cream pudding. Good night.